ladies and gentlemen, to Fan Appreciation Month here on Reaction and Review. Tonight, guys, I'm taking a look at a sequel to one of my all-time favorite sci-fi films. The sequel came out in 2010. The movie is Tron Legacy. Now, wow, I'm trying to figure out what to even say about this. See, because guys, when I first saw the ads for Tron Legacy back in 2010, I really wasn't all that interested in watching it. Partially because I'm such a big fan of Tron, I really never thought that a sequel would be necessary, and the trailer to me just did not look that good. And I've noticed something between then and now, because I've talked to a lot of people who've watched Tron Legacy. It seems that those who really enjoy the movie never saw Tron, and everyone who dislikes Tron Legacy saw Tron. And since Tron has been one of my favorite movies for the better part of my lifetime, this almost feels awkward trying to go into this with a fucking open mind. I really almost feel doomed before I even push play. However, I'm still going to give this movie a chance because, well, I still have that faintest of hopes that this thing is going to somehow become something good. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Tron Legacy. Okay, that was really cool. I really do kind of like the whole Disney, castle done up all with all the Tron lines and everything. I thought that was really cool looking. Okay, there is something ridiculously wrong with Jeff Bridges' face in this scene. I really don't know if it's just really bad CG or really shitty makeup, but god damn, there is something just off about the way he looks in these scenes. Wow, that is just off-putting. So the difference between NCOM's previous operating system and their new one is that they slapped a 12 on the box. So NCOM's Apple. Totally got it. So let me see if I understand this. From the 20 years between Tron and Tron Legacy, the grid went from being a very, very futuristic-looking sci-fi mega city to basically the current world, only darker and grittier and covered in neon lights. I call bullshit. Alright guys, that is just a horrible sign. I just finally saw somebody get de-fucking-rezzed here, and it isn't nearly as cool looking as it was back in 1982. How the fuck can a movie that is 30 years old be able to look better than something that came out 2 years ago? It's really starting to get kind of depressing. Wow, the light cycle sequence is boring as shit. How the hell do you fuck up the light cycle battle, man? The light cycles were the coolest part of fucking Tron. How the hell do you screw it up this badly? I'm really fucking curious, dude. Wow, so this entire flashback I am supposed to give a shit about the ISOs and Clue killing Tron, all this other shit, but really, no. Everything is so poorly written, the acting is so wooden, and these special effects are so shitty, I cannot bring myself to give a shit. It's really getting kind of sad, dude. Wow. Even the action scenes in this fucking turd are boring as shit. You have no idea how much I just want to give up and shut this god-awful thing off right now. But sadly, thanks to the rules I've set for the series, I can't fucking do that, so now I'm pretty much screwed. Wow, guys. I honestly was sort of questioning whether or not Clue is an evil, horrific dictator, and now he's giving a very Hitler-esque speech. This movie has all the subtlety of a jackhammer, and I'm despondent despising it more with every passing fucking second. You know, guys, it is really sad. This movie's reaching its fucking climax. I should by all rights be on the edge of my seat. I should just be so excited to see the ending, because then everything's gonna pay off. Right now, I'm just right now waiting for my misery to end. That's not a good sign for any fucking movie, and frankly, the fact that I'm this close to the finish line, I'm fucking happy as shit, because it's almost over. Well, guys, that was Tron Legacy. Let me shut this horrible noise off. Anyway, you guys might tell I'm not quite my normal self. Why? Because, this movie is quite possibly one of the most offensive things I have ever witnessed. And frankly, I am too pissed to yell. I'm too pissed to make a big song and dance about this. I don't think anyone's ever seen me as pissed off as I am right now. I am so pissed I cannot even be asked to raise my fucking voice. That's... Very rarely have I ever been this angered. You guys have no idea. Now, had I never have watched the original Tron, I would probably say at worst this movie is all style and no substance, plotless, lifeless, over-flashy, overdone bullshit. But since I watched Tron when I was 10 years old, and even then it was a visionary and groundbreaking piece of science fiction masterwork, this thing is far more offensive, because it took a fantastic property, it took a marvelous movie, and decided to do a sequel almost 30 years afterwards, with none of the personality, with none of the soul, with none of the substance. I am really surprised that Disney could stoop to putting something this absolutely horrible into theaters and expect people to enjoy it. Again, though, I'm saying that as a fan of the Tron series. I think I can kind of see why people who've never seen Tron can find something good in this, because they've never experienced the awesomeness that is Tron. I understand that I'm beginning to sound like a cult member or a fanboy about it, but unfortunately that is just how good Tron was. Tron was a very revolutionary film. It was one of, if not the first films to ever utilize CG. It was one of the biggest effects films of the early 80s, and the fact that now we have this movie, this new sequel, came out just shy of the original's 30th anniversary, and it's this bad. Alright, I totally understand, guys. I am just, whinging on about the fact that this sucks compared to the original Tron. I really have to stop. I've got to get right into the actual review, or else I'm going to be here all day. Let's start with the writing, okay? There are a lot of supposed plot twists which happen over the course of this film, and similar to the previous movie I reviewed, which was Bitch Slap, if you do not see these twists coming long before they happen, then you're fucking stupid, okay? Anybody who does not know that Tron is actually hiding in secret is a moron, because even when he's hiding in secret, he still has his old Tron markings in plain sight. But they still try to make that up as a huge, huge deal. The fact that every single one of these supposed twists are supposed to be shocking, but you as the viewer are probably far too intelligent to, be surprised by them, is nothing short of shocking. I really thought that Disney was better than that. I thought that Disney actually respected their viewers enough to give us something that might have been good. But now, beyond just the horrifically predictable twists, we then have a story that is just so devoid of personality it almost hurts. They basically just sort of took the original script to Tron, and they replaced the awesome villain from the original, which was the Master Control Program, and replaced him with Clue. And Clue has all the personality of a fucking trout, a dead trout, I should mention. And we have a lot of we have a lot of very similar scenes, a lot of very similar setups, but it all feels so hollow and token and pointless. I'm still trying to figure out how in the hell I made it through all 2 hours and not, go completely insane. Well, maybe I have been. Maybe I just don't know it yet. The story itself has got some real pacing issues because there are just long stretches where nothing happens. There is just nothing there that is in any way trying to further, the story or trying to build the characters more. I really don't know if the slower pace was supposed to sort of tie into Flynn's new Zen lifestyle thing, but frankly, it just makes this movie just boring as hell to watch. And frankly, had I been given the chance, I would probably have shut off the stupid thing after 20 minutes and walked away. But unfortunately I didn't, and well, now I have to live with the memories of having watched this stupid thing. So let's just stop dwelling on that and move on. Every character is about as flat and as token as you can get. Every character is either very loud or very quiet. They're either good or they're evil. That's really it. That is it in terms of personality for everybody, be they users or programs. They are all lifeless, pointless characters who, frankly, you could have replaced with cardboard cutouts, and well, the cardboard cutouts would probably have had a hell of a lot more personality. Let's just be totally frank here. Let's go into acting. I usually say that you can only, expect so much from actors when they're given a script that is this bad. And once more, I do have to reiterate that because, guys, we have here a cast who normally knows what the hell they are doing. We have here a cast of very capable, very talented actors. Not a single one of them turned in an interesting, passable, or even good showing. Again, though, I'm saying that knowing that I am a TRON fan, and I am as offended as I am after having watched this. So perhaps maybe I'm being a bit too harsh on the acting, but god damn it, I'm just calling it as I saw it. So you guys have to take that for what it's worth. There was nobody here who turned in any kind of a performance that I would say was even half good. In fact, I would almost say that the acting here just flat out sucked. Music. A lot of people who were telling me about this movie, they all said the same thing. If there's any positive you are going to take out of this, it is the soundtrack. And they were right at first when Sam goes and he turns on the power in his dad's old video arcade, and right there is a jukebox, and you hear some Journey, and you hear some Eurythmics. I loved that, but of course I'm really into 80s music. Then they get into the grid, and then comes the part everybody said I was gonna love, which was the Daft Punk soundtrack. Well, guys, I'm sorry, but I was not a big fan of Daft Punk going into this, and well, frankly, I believe I'm even less of a fan now because the soundtrack in this movie was complete shit. I'm not a big fan of Daft Punk because I'm not a big fan of techno music, and well, frankly, the soundtrack here, besides being a very heavily techno themed soundtrack, also comes off as a very lazy techno soundtrack, which, based on the few songs by Daft Punk I've heard, seems to be their stock and trade. I do know I'm going to get a lot of comments on that because there are a lot of very rabid Daft Punk fans out there, but sorry guys, I'm just not into their music, and an entire film scored by them to me is just nothing but torturous. Camera work is okay. There's really nothing special there. The sound is alright. It really was sort of a nice touch about how a handful of the programs, mind you, very few programs had this kind of sort of like a digitized filter over their voices. It was sort of a nice touch. I want to touch on effects now, because you see, that was one of the big things about the original Tron was the special effects, a lot of which, contrary to popular belief, was not CG. A lot of it was all practical effects. Instead of trying to emulate that style in honor of the film this thing is a sequel to, they went for an almost all CG thing, and it looks absolutely abysmal. The very fact that things such as light cycles and recognizers and just the grid in general all look absolutely horrible when they all originally looked fantastic in the original film is nothing shy of insulting. Again, though, I am a Tron fan, so I'm kind of biased when I'm talking about these things, so perhaps maybe some people would see this stuff as good. I see it as a step down from a 30-year-old movie, and that is nothing short of sad. Frankly, guys, this is a very difficult movie for me to actually review because of my loyalty and my love of the original Tron. So, if you guys think I'm being a bit too harsh, if you think I'm being a bit too negative, that's probably because you never saw this movie. So you really don't have a lot to, actually compare to. This movie is an absolute masterpiece. Tron Legacy, on the other hand, is complete and total shit, and I'm kind of happy I watched it because I wanted to give this movie a chance, and sadly, I have never been this disappointed after watching a movie in my entire life. That's saying quite a bit. Now, Tron Legacy did come off of the Amazon.com wish list. The person who bought it does not want a shout out. He does not want his channel promoted. But Robert, thank you, because you gave me the chance to see if this movie could actually impress me. And the saddest part is that it didn't. And frankly, I really wished that it did, but well, you know what? Sometimes, guys, it just doesn't, work out. So, I'm going to go watch the real Tron right now, and hopefully it'll make me feel a little bit happier. Perhaps maybe it'll help kill off a little bit of this rage that's building up inside me. So, with that, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.